I think that documentary stirred up a lot of shit in people. Obviously, because holy fuck, bro. Holy fuck, right? That is insane, bruh.
I love that the homegirl from Reno 911 was in it.
Oh, yeah.
To showcase her skills because she's not just comedic, but she brings it, man. She's very underrated.
Killed it too. That's why the it was so well done, right? It was shot brilliant. It was to the T. Homie Evan Peters is a fucking beast. Super underrated actor. Seriously.
Oh yeah. Period pieces are tough in general to shoot.
And that is, bro, like that had to have been hard to film that. And I know there's a lot of people, and Boozy, we were just talking about this. Boozy was talking about that he thinks Netflix should compensate the families, that all the money from that should go to the families of the victims.
Oh, guaranteed.
You know?
I see that.
And well, fuck, bro. They had issues trying to collect money when they were trying to sue people. Like his dad wrote a book, for example. And it didn't do well, but all the proceeds of the book went to the families.
Yeah, try prying that money away from the studios.
Oh, yeah. Exactly. There you go with that, right? Exactly. But it was huge. I think people had a lot of people were uncomfortable with it because of how well it was done and how well homie acted. You find yourself watching it, thinking to yourself, am I feeling fucking sorry for this fucking weirdo? Am I feeling sorry for this fucking psycho-ass motherfucker right here?
And the reason I think with that is because it showcased so much of him being afraid of his sexuality. Mm-hmm. And, when he steals the mannequin or the dress-up mannequin, he takes it back and he just wants to cuddle with it.
Yeah, he just wants to be with a person.
And then he finds himself, oh, okay, I let myself loose and then got someone there. And then that's when it snapped. I think it started off with curiosity. And then he's like, oh, I got the power. I can do this. And I just got to do and learn that shit in the army where you can.
Exactly. And another thing I think too, bro, and I you can't convince me that he didn't know. Obviously, he didn't have a lot of money. Obviously, he wasn't a rich motherfucker. But he knew moving where he moved that he would be able to get rid of Latino and black dudes and go unnoticed. Right? Easy. He couldn't have been fucking living in Beverly Hills doing that kind of shit. Hell no.
Pops,
so he had to have known.
Oh yeah, Pops had to have some dough though.
Yeah.
Mom's hooked up in a
It
three-story
like
house. He's with this young girl, and he got left home at 18 by himself.
Yeah.
For what, 2 months or something?
The whole time I was thinking to myself, I'm like, the dad's mad at the mom. Where the fuck was the dad? How could you? I got 4 kids, bro. There ain't no way I ain't seeing those motherfuckers for 2 months. I don't give a fuck if me and their moms don't get along. I don't give a shit what I'm doing. I'm knowing what the hell's going on with my kids. 2 months, he got left home. So his parents split up, right? Mm-hmm. Fuck, we're talking about Jeffrey Dahmer again in this motherfucker. We're doing it. So his parents split up, and his mom was fucking. She was out there, right? And his dad probably was out there too, bruh. But they split up, and she left him there at the house, and the dad was living in a hotel. So this fucking dude was alone at 18 years old, staying at his pad just alone for like the whole summer. And that's when his first kill happened. He killed a hitchhiker. That's
crazy.
And buried him all over the property. He split him into pieces.
I'm like, man, if I was home at 18 for 2 months by myself, I would not kill anybody, but there'd be some
I hope
parties.
not, Jay.
There'd be some parties going on in that motherfucker.
Well, I mean, he had a party. It was just a different kind of fucking party, man.
Damn, right? Life or death party.
Bruh, so they show. I think
the
film did a good they didn't paint him as a hero. Right? They didn't. I thought at first, I was like, are they going to try and like
glorify
Yeah,
him?
like at first I thought. There was a few episodes where I was like I said, I'm like, am I sitting here? Are they trying to make me feel some type of way towards maybe, but they didn't. They showed possibilities and reasons and like, what's that book? A Series of Unfortunate Events. That's pretty much, it was a series of unfortunate events, and he was already fucked up.
I think the way the directing was, it showcased, okay, you can feel a little bit sorry for Jeffrey, but you have to showcase the victims a lot worse than...
Bro.
So I think they did a good job of, 70-30.
Yep.
Of, all right, this is how bad it happened to the victims,
Yep.
but you got to think this is how Jeffrey got this way. And as Pops, he admitted, he's like, oh yeah, I had the same kind of thoughts.
I had the same kind of thoughts. And then he took him and he was showing him how to dissect animals on the road and shit. Like I said, dog.
His dad did?
Oh yeah. It was a way to connect. He was younger and his dad, they seen roadkill, right? I was looking for the word. And they take roadkill back to the house and they dissect it.
I don't know, man.
Damn.
My dad picked up roadkill and dissected it in front of me many times, I didn't become a...
Yes. No, exactly. See, there has to be something already fucking there. Bruh. I don't like that excuse neither. I hate when people are like, well, but the way I was raised, like, that has a factor. But there has to be some sort of, what's the word that I'm looking for? There has to be some sort of you taking blame.
Accountability.
Accountability. That's the word I'm looking for. There's got to be accountability here because obviously, yeah, the way we were raised in those circumstances has an effect on how we like go forward in life. But no accountability. Come on, and that's. I mean, like I said, he was one of the few that held himself accountable. He wanted to die. He's like, I wanted the death penalty, and they didn't give it to me.
I get your point, Chad, about growing up and seeing all that stuff. And I got to think playing devil's advocate is the time of when you're growing up. Like he grew up in the 70s, you grew up with the 90s. So I mean, in the 90s, we knew a lot more about serial killing and what's going on, and way of thinking differently. I'm not giving them excuses. I'm just saying, playing devil's advocate. I can imagine because I always thought about growing up in the 70s.
You guys remember? I think it was in the 70s. There was that guy that was there. They had it was the dad and the son would hide out in the trunk.
Oh, yeah.
And
everybody thought he was
people,
white.
Shoot people.
Yeah.
You guys remember how
Well, because they
fucking crazy
usually
is that?
are,
Yeah.
bruh.
Everybody thought, and then they came out like, what?
No way. Yeah, well, because and that's a trip, bro. Because when you look at all these serial killers, right? They've never met each other. They grew up in different parts of the country, but they share so many similarities. It's like the United States fucking breeds them, right?
Single child.
See, there's so many similarities, and then they
Parents
take
divorced.
trophies. They go back to the scene of the crime. Like there's so many similarities. It's scary. So they've done studies, and they wanted to do that with his brain too, where they dissect the brain and they see if there's something different about the way they're built versus the way that we're built. There's got to be, because like Chad said, well, we're not going to get off of that. You guys were dissecting roadkill?
No.
Okay, I'm just about to say. Let's circle back here, because you never told me about that, Jay. I was in the garage, man. All right, that's what the studio used to be.
You don't talk about it. Wait till Dad finds out you talked about it.
Yeah, he's going to. Episode 20, talking about that. I guess before we get too much further, I don't know. We didn't mean to start on the Jeffrey Dahmer fucking Netflix, but it fucking happens, bro. So, man, your host is here, Johnny James. Jay's here.
That's good.
Kenneth's here. We got a special guest, Chad's here. This is Jay's fucking brother. Yeah. Episode 21, Respect the Connect, make some motherfucking noise. Yeah. Let's go. See, I'm getting better at that intro, bro.
That was pretty good.
I don't stumble it as much.
I know, we
you
stumbled through one of them a while back.
Fuck it. We stumble, we get up, and we keep going, bro.
Roll halfway down.
Those are the vibes.
70th
Kennick
episode,
is
you'll
far
have it
away.
Kennick.
We've gotten a lot farther from
We passed that. We passed that. When you stumble, you just got to keep moving, bro. You got to keep moving. There's less motherfuckers in the intro. Yeah. That's easier to monetize.
Is that a good thing or a bad thing?
I don't know, but audience, y'all tell us. Is less motherfuckers, more motherfuckers? You know what I mean?
I feel hyped. You got me.
Let's go. Let's go then. So since we're talking about movies, bro, I just went to go see the new Halloween. I seen it last night. Why? Halloween Ends. Listen, brother, I'm a huge Michael Myers fan. All right, I'm a huge horror fan. Okay,
right.
And I'm gonna be brutally honest here. I feel disrespected.
I bet.
I feel a little sad, a little mad. He deserved better than that, bruh. I know he's a fucking psycho killer, but he deserved better than that. Laurie Strode's character deserved better than that too, bruh. It was not it. No spoilers, but audience, for me as a huge fan, it was not fucking it. I didn't like the one before it. Kills, to me, was an atrocious piece of shit, right? It really was, man. I liked the murders. That was cool. There was some really cool fucking like kills in it, which there should have been. It's called Kills.
You have to.
This one, Kills made this one. No, this one made Kills look like it should have fucking got an Oscar.
Damn.
Wasn't it, bro?
So was this the last one that they were doing for this?
Bro, last one for the next 5 years,
That's
probably.
what Jamie said. That was her last one.
It's her last
her
one.
last
And
one, yeah.
okay, realistically, she did get a decent ending compared to some of the other endings they tried to give her, right? They handled that kind of well, but they built it up to be this huge fucking showdown.
Nothing.
So yeah.
Music intensifies.
Yeah, so I was disappointed.
Fog rolls
You know
in.
when you really want to like a movie that you're leaving the movie and you're like trying to like hype yourself up like you did like it, and then you get in the car and you get home and you start thinking, fuck that movie.
Yeah.
That's how it was all day. That's how it was all day. Fuck that movie.
You're like, am I satisfied? No, fuck that. Oh.
Especially because I'm a Michael Myers fan, so I'm like, okay, this might be the last time I could see Michael Myers in the theater for a while, right? So it was free on Peacock, so I could have seen it free if I wanted to. Right. But no, I took everybody, dropped 60 bones, popcorn.
Experience.
Yeah, it was definitely an experience.
60
That's
bones
pretty-
on popcorn.
You know
pretty
what I'm
cheap.
saying? Nah, I got that Cinemark Club, fam. We be saving.
yeah.
That shit's
That
fire,
membership.
bro. I go all the fucking time, man. It took me years to get it, but now that I got it, my dude, we be saving free tickets and shit, bro.
That's pretty dope, actually.
It sucked, and it was worse too because I had just seen Smile the week before that.
I hear good things about that.
So dope. Have you ever seen that movie? It Follows.
No.
You ain't never seen It Follows.
No,
You ain't never seen It Follows.
No.
What about you, Kenneth? You seen It Follows?
Yeah.
That movie. Fucking audience, man. Come on, help me here. It Follows is fucking creepy as shit, bro.
I'm not too much into like the creepy because being a filmmaker and an actor, like it's just everything you have to really convince me to be scared, and I'll just go into it looking at like the special effects, and then I like get disappointed, and it's all CGI, and it takes me out of the
Yeah,
right
see,
away.
these movies are more like mental fuck with you movies. They're not like gory. They're not, you got this killer chasing you around. They're not like, let's chop someone's head off. They fuck with you like in your, have you ever seen The Babadook or Babadook?
I have not.
It's another one. Am I the only horror movie fan up in this motherfucker?
think-
Come
I
on.
think you
Fuck,
are,
bro.
bro.
Fuck. All right,
Yeah.
well, we're going to get into it, all right? So these are more like, I don't even know what kind of category you'd put them in, but they're more mental thrillers, horror.
Horror thriller
That like fuck with you like so with It Follows, that shit's crazy because spoilers kind of a little bit if you haven't seen it. So what like it's this kind of sexually transmitted disease, right? So you have to pass it to another person by fucking them, right? And then random people, like it's like this entity or whatever the fuck just follows you. No matter
Until you pass it.
and it's a person. It's usually a person, right? And they're like, you look off to the distance, and there's just like this random lady standing there, and they slowly walk to you. So that's the only benefit of it is they're slow, they're not fast, but they're always going to be following you.
So what do
and
they do when they
chasing
get to you?
They kill you. They fucking completely, not just kill you,
tear you
but
apart.
fuck you up completely. It never
Okay.
really shows like a actual murder in process. Actually, it shows like the after effects. This girl's like all twisted up and crazy, right? But it's a sexually transmitted disease. You have to, so if it kills the person that you passed it to, the person that passed it to them is next up on the list. So you have to keep passing the shit around, right?
That's crazy.
Now, is it a time lapse thing? Because that's got to be at least like a year. You got to wait time, right?
So it starts like you think this dude's like this is nice guy, this chick, like she hooks up with him and you know, he passes it to her. And then this other dude likes her, so he like lets her pass it to him, and they're just bro. It's a STD movie. Realistically, let's keep it here, but it's fucking creepy, bro. So Smile is in that vein. That's why I brought it up. I was wondering why the fuck I got off on a tangent.
There was one movie. I haven't seen the one movie I saw the sequel of. I haven't seen the first one, and it was Orphan 2, and it had a twist in it to where it was scary. The acting was great. And the twist in the middle, I gave it to the middle, like, whoa.
Oh, isn't that homegirl that like is like the little kid, but
She's
not
like
really a little
30-something,
kid?
but
Yeah,
looks
yeah, yeah.
like-
I haven't seen the second one yet.
I was like, oh, all right. I went into it like, I don't want to watch this, and then I started, oh, okay.
You liked it?
Okay. What is her name? Not Julia Stiles, but
Oh yeah, the other one that was in all those dance movies in the early 2000s. Not another teen movie, but 10 Things I Hate About You. What the hell's her name?
Jennifer Love Hewitt.
No. Damn, where'd she go though?
she
She
still
was
looks good.
like always nice.
She was always good.
She looks
She always acted really
smart.
good.
She had really pretty eyes. You know what I'm saying? Like her eyes, dog. I still remember that scene in all the women would be like, these guys are fucking,
I know.
these fucking guys. I always get Jay in trouble.
That is a quote. Like at least I stole that from online. She looks smart.
Smart.
No, she's got really beautiful eyes.
Yeah.
The scene in I Know What You Did Last Summer. Remember when she's spinning around, she's wearing that blue shirt?
What are you
Not that I've
waiting
seen it
for?
1,000 times.
What the fuck is her name? I know
Bro, he just said it, Jennifer Love Hewitt.
Is that? Oh, okay. I thought we were talking
Or is
about
that
the other chick.
Jennifer? It's some of them. It's one of them. Whatever.
Yeah.
What the fuck are we even talking about now, guys? Fuck, bro.
rolling,
I'm
huh?
distracted now,
Talk about
bro.
Orphan.
Oh, we were talking about. Oh, we were trying to figure out homegirl's name. She was in
Horror movies.
In 10 Things I Hate About You. Yeah.
But she was great, and then came in there and twisted the whole story. That's what I like. That's what I need in like a horror. Like a horror thriller has to be a twist in there. It doesn't have to be just about like obviously there's a difference between slasher and thriller, horror, all that kind of things. But for me personally, as an actor in the film, I'm not sure about you, Trax. I know you're in it too, but I have to be taken away in a storyline or the acting. Like, show me something cool. All right, cool car crash, this and that. But it's like then I'm like thinking, oh, how did they do that?
Yeah, yeah. Once I started like working in the film, every time I watch a movie or a show, I see the 70 people behind the camera. I see the lighting setups. You know what I'm saying? I see the person hiding behind the wall. That's that's handling something. When it's a good movie and I don't see that and I'm just focused on the movie, that's where it's at.
What's
It's
the last
rare.
movie that did that for you?
Prey.
I hear great things about it.
Prey. Why does that sound so familiar? I know I've
It's the
seen
new
Mid Thunder,
Amber Mid-Thunder. She's
What's it
the
about?
local actress.
Predator.
Oh, no, bro, I've been wanting to fucking
What?
watch that movie. That's the one where they
Oh,
drop
she's
them
the-
off and
yeah.
they're like being hunted, right? I haven't seen it yet,
Yeah,
bro.
yeah.
Fucking
We
sleep.
haven't seen
Was that
Prey.
filmed out here?
No, that was up in Canada.
Oh, okay.
So it took you. So they got you. It took you into the
That was
movie.
a good one.
You didn't
That
see
was
the
a good one.
cast and crew.
No.
For the audience out there that don't know, just a little behind. This is Jay's fucking brother, but he is in the movie industry in New Mexico big time. Just a little backstory, just in case you didn't know. So that's gotta be fucking weird though. So that's gotta kind of fuck up watching a movie, like realistically for both y'all. Like,
It does, yeah.
I mean, I'm like kind of there. I'm not in the movie industry like you guys, but like videos and I know the behind the scenes. So sometimes I'm like, oh, that was a dope ass camera angle. And people when I'm watching a movie with somebody, they're like, what the fuck are you talking about? And I'm like, that camera angle, bro. Did you see how dope that was? They're like, I guess. So that's got to be on steroids for you guys.
Oh yeah, yeah. As you as a creator, you see, all right, how am I gonna? All right, this is the best way I look. Okay,
Yeah.
cool, like that. So then your mind's already tricked as viewing other stuff and not criticizing, but like critiquing other body's other stuff. And then I pick up stuff off of other creators on, TikTok and Instagram, like different angles make it better. And then that's what we just continually think about, like, oh, that was a cool angle. That
Yeah,
got me.
for me, it's not so much the camera angles. It's more like the props jumping around, or like the
Background.
can on the table doing this as
Oh yeah,
as the scene goes.
I noticed those too.
The biggest one is cigarettes. That's the worst.
Oh, when they light it and then all of a sudden they switch back and it's gone already.
Yeah,
damn, that
like
fool must have been stressed out.
Like there'll be people sitting at a bar having a conversation, smoking, and as the scene progresses, the cigarette is doing this.
Yeah. So that's what.
That's
So
what
you have to.
I'm in charge of the
you
continuity
have to
for all
be
the
like,
props.
all right, so the cigarette was this long, and then like, what do you do? Like you just cut it, and then give it to them.
It really depends on the scene that we're doing, because sometimes we don't shoot the scene like linear. We shoot like the end, and then we jump to the front, and then we do depending on the structure of the scene. So we have to understand, like if it's a glass of a beer, right? It's at a different level. If it's at the end of the scene, we have to make sure that it's at that level.
Oh,
if
I
it,
see.
then we do the end of the scene,
Yep.
then we jump back to the beginning. We have to make sure it's full. You know what I'm saying? The continuity is key.
Yeah, well, to sell the illusion.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Sometimes you do one scene, and then you go through the whole movie, and then you go back to, or you do your dailies, or like before you wrap up a call it a wrap. All right, go through all the footage. What do we need to do? And then you have to go all the way back to like day 2 and reshoot a couple shots. And then that's when Chad, his department, gets with the supervisor, the script supervisor, because they both take notes. They go almost hand in hand. Like, okay, where are we at? Page. Okay, what do we have in here? Because those two, they work hand in hand on making sure that you're not thrown out of the scene. And my thing with that was like background, like seeing just because that's where obviously actors, that's where they started doing background and doing. I think we talked about that. But like that's what I noticed. I look back there and like see who's all robot, or like going all crazy.
Who's trying to have those? Who's trying to win an Oscar for
who's
their
trying-
background performance?
Trying to get an agent. Yeah.
That was me in Breaking Bad, in my Breaking Bad scene. I ain't even playing. I was laundry worker 5 when they blow up the fucking laundromat. Bro, I'm like, I'm getting an agent off of this
Dude,
performance right
I
here.
saw that nod right before he blew the place up. You're the
Telling you, bro, no one listens, bro. I was in the script. I was really Heisenberg, low
Walt,
key.
it's ready to
Low-key.
go, dog.
Listen, he looked at me like, should I blow it up? I was like, bet.
Let me just dip out the back real quick.
I did, bro.
Let me finish my load of laundry,
Hey.
and then I'll go home, dog.
So I do that too, bro. Like I'll notice because as a background actor, you gotta like have conversations and feel like it's natural. So I'll watch people in the background like talking to each other. I'm like, I wonder what the fuck they're saying to each other. Like I wonder what the hell they're
for
saying.
real.
Thing is, you can't.
This is
say
what they're
anything.
saying right here.
Yeah, you can't say anything. You just have to.
Oh hey, yeah. That's why some of it looks crazy. I remember when I realized that when they shoot scenes that have like music playing, like a dance, that there's no actual music,
Yep,
that they have to
yep.
catch the dialogue, so people are just pretending to dance around. That looks fucking bonkers.
Dude, they
bro.
play like they'll play like maybe the first 5 to 10
Yeah, like a
seconds of the
music video.
song. So so the background can actually hear the music and have it in their head, and then they'll say, "Stop the music."
And they have to keep dancing.
Actors will act, and they'll keep on dancing. Yeah,
That's funny,
or
bro.
pretend
Can you
talk.
imagine if you're completely off beat? Like, look at this fucking loser over here doesn't know how to fucking dance to Thriller. Look at this
I don't
idiot.
know. You got to give it to the background artists, though, man. Some of them are really good, and they're in it. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And without them, and without
yeah.
their like, without them actually like feeling that character that they are,
Yep.
it wouldn't really be much of a of a movie.
Well, it's all about
Or a
selling
TV
the
show.
illusion, right?
Exactly
it's
what it
all
is,
about
exactly.
selling the illusion.
Safely.
Background
Yes.
actors, crew, main actors, producers. Everybody has a role. We're all in this. We're all in it together. So if we all give it 100, it'll turn out great.
That's what we always talk about. That we've had this conversation multiple times about music versus movies as like art forms, right? And which one's the dominant predator. And we've kind of come to the conclusion that they're just separate entities on the same spectrum, right? But the thing that's different with film, and I'll always say this, is there's so many moving pieces. There's so many people on a fucking film set, it's overwhelming. Like as just a consumer that watches movies, you go and you see the credits, like, oh, hey, there's 5 million people. But what you don't understand is that every single one of those people is an integral part in making the illusion come to life.
The coordination that comes together to make a movie or a TV show is unbelievable. There's so many moving parts, like you said,
Yeah.
thousands. Like in props alone, we may have 50 props out, 50 moving parts. There's thousands of moving parts that you have to keep track of at any given time.
Yep.
And that's just us.
Yep.
That's not set deck. That's not the lighting department. You know what I'm saying? That's not the director and the producer and scripty who has to keep track of all those moving parts as well. And like we ask the director, dozens of questions a day. Like he has to know what he wants the actors to do, but he also has to know, what color he wants somebody, what color pen he wants somebody using in the
Yep.
scene. There's just so much shit that goes into it. It's unbelievable.
I mean, you have the assistant director that has to keep everything on track, time.
That is a
like,
stressful job.
I don't miss
You've
it.
done that.
I don't miss it. I do not miss it.
You
They
think
did-
that's one of the worst,
not so much the worst. The
I
one
would-
you have to be on your game.
the most stressful?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
That's the position to where if you're doing your job, no one cares about you.
Yeah.
But if you fuck your job up,
Everybody does.
Everybody's
Everybody
pointing
knows
the
your name.
finger. Everybody knows your name. You
you're
get bitched.
fucking up.
Oh yeah, that's a hard deal to deal with. Is that okay? If you're doing a good job, no one's gonna tell you. And if you could accept that and know you're gonna be working 18, 19 hours a day,
Then you'll be good at your job.
Yep.
That's a lot. That's a lot to feel not appreciated really, and no one knows who you are if you're doing it right. But if you're doing it wrong, everybody does.
yeah, you have to be strong, man.
So you're in props, Chad.
Yes.
So did you get the call for Rust when it was going down out here?
I did get that call.
They hit your department up first,
Yeah.
or one of the departments.
I don't know who they called first, but yeah, I got that call to do props on that. But I was already working on Big Sky, so I turned it down.
So you couldn't do it.
I couldn't do it.
Man,
Big
A
Sky.
lot of my friends got that call. We all got that call.
that was a fucking tragedy, bro.
Absolutely.
Like absolute tragedy. Like that.
If looking back, if any one of us knew that it would, by taking that job, that we would save the life of one of our
gotta
600
be
kin, man, we would take that job in a heartbeat. I would have walked. I would have taken that job, but nobody knew what was going to happen.
I mean,
Yeah, that's tough,
how
man.
could you? I mean, how could you predict something like
Well,
that?
there was a lot of not a lot of, I can't say a lot. There were complaints and there were letters written. There was resignations written saying that they don't feel safe on set. There's no
Yes.
lodging. The pay is being late. Like there was a bunch of things going on that was communicated to the producers and everything like that. But when you have, not to place blame, just when you have a actor producer, that's almost as tough as being a assistant director, because you're in the movie but you're producing it, so you have some
You get pulled in different directions.
different direction when you're trying to be in your character, but then you have the director or the UPM coming up to you or someone asking you crew questions while you're trying to be an actor. It's tough, but
Yeah.
man, there's like you're talking about steps and making movies and stuff like that. There's so many steps to be safe, and
Yeah.
when you have crew members reaching out and then not saying they were ignored, but that's what they're saying, they were being ignored, and then something tragic is someone being on set and doing what they love and putting their art, thinking that they're there to make, like, this was her first feature.
Dang, really?
Damn,
You talk about
for
the armor?
real?
No, Hannah, not Hannah. Excuse me, Helena.
Oh no, she's been doing it.
She's been doing it?
She was well established in her field.
But anyway,
It was the Armorers. It was Hannah's second movie
second movie.
doing it herself. I think she's probably worked.
And is that's the
Before.
armor? So
That's the armor.
That's the person that's in charge of the actual weapon on
Correct.
set, correct?
Correct.
So, man, walk me through what it takes to actually have a gun on set. Like, I know it's like I know it's a huge process. Walk me through how the fuck did this happen? You feel what I'm saying? Like, as an outside perspective.
That's a big question. I am not going to speak to what happened on the set of Rust because I wasn't there and I don't know.
100%.
I can speak to what we do on our sets. For instance, when the actors are not on set or when they're rehearsing, we would use a orange gun. So the stand-ins, the actors, they will have this in their hand. Everybody can see that it's not real. You know what I'm saying? When we So when we actually bring the actual gun that's going to be used to set, the armorer would grab it, he'd pull the mag, he'd lock it back, he'd get his flashlight, and he shows the director. See, nothing in it, nothing in it. He shows the actor that's holding the gun, nothing in it, nothing in it. He shows the actor that's holding the gun, the actor that's being pointed, that the gun's being pointed at, the camera crew, anybody on the crew that wants to see the weapon can see the weapon. So, you shine it up the barrel, you see,
There's nothing in
there's
it.
nothing in it. Everybody sees that. There is dozens of people who have eyes on that weapon. You know what I'm saying? Everybody sees it. Everybody's checked it. Cold weapon on set. A gun with no live ammo. A gun that gets pulled and is just being pulled is called a cold weapon. That gets checked. Everybody sees it. You hand that off. That's the process. There's dozens of eyes that have seen that gun and know that it's empty. They know that there's nothing there.
Fuck.
Now the most important part is to go back to handing it off. Now, who hands it off,
The armor.
and who does the armor hand it off to?
Armor only hands it to the actor who's holding the gun.
Fuck.
Should the actor be getting the gun from anybody else?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. The armor, the person in charge of the weaponry, is the one that handles the gun, that shows the gun to the crew that wants to see it, that hands the gun to the actor, and then once that scene is done, nobody moves, nobody rushes. Hair and makeup they don't rush in to check the actor. Everybody stays still. They call cut. The armor goes in. The actor hands him the gun. He drops the mag. He cocks it back. He says, "Weapon is safe," and the armor keeps the gun on him at all times.
So the armor, once it's all checked, the armor keeps it at their side 100% of the time until they're shooting again.
Absolutely. And if the armor, for some reason, has to step away, he puts it in the safe, he locks it up. When he comes back, he pulls it out of the safe, has to go through that same check process again. Because
Fuck, bro,
because
that's-
it left his person.
That's a whole bunch of fucking steps, man.
And I mean, owning a gun,
That's-
that's what you need to do.
that's-
Like, if even just us owning
Yeah,
a gun.
yeah, absolutely,
Like, we
yeah.
always want. I
That's-
mean, we don't have to clear it every time, but we want to know shit.
That
know
there's
what,
not a
it's
fucking round in the chamber.
Yeah, it's been a couple
Exactly.
weeks since I've had it. Let me make sure. Let's drop the clip and yeah. I mean,
I'm so glad you explained that. Now, what's wild to me is it was a rehearsal.
Yes.
So hold up, they weren't even fucking shooting the scene
They
live.
weren't even shooting
No,
the
they were
scene.
not.
Like in a rehearsal, you should not have any guns.
Well, didn't
anything-
you say this is the rehearsal gun?
I was just about to
at,
say
at
that.
the very most of the time you'll see like doing the action with their hands, this
Yeah.
and that, being safety.
Yeah, sometimes a lot of times they don't even use this. It's just say
They just hold it up
for
like
the-
it's-
for like stand-ins.
Yeah.
For when they're doing the lighting, we give them this because it helps the camera with
And I'm glad you said that because stand-ins, usually, I've been a stand-in before. I'm not sure about this set. Like you said, I'm not going to speak to what happened on there. But from my experience, the stand-ins do all that. In Breaking Bad, you'll see a scene where Gus walks down out of Pollo Loco and he's on the phone and he gets off the phone and breaks it.
Yeah.
I did that motion for the camera. I was his stand-in, and I walked down the wall or down the hallway or sidewalk, and they worked the camera angles. Boom, 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 boom. And then they call that second team. First team, come in. And then they tell Kenny, hey, explain to him, or the director will come by, or they'll even see a shot rehearsal on how the camera's going to be moving. The fact that he was in there in a rehearsal with a gun, no camera,
no armor.
no armor was on set.
Holy fuck, bro.
Is wild.
I don't even think there was a prop person. From what I understand, the Hannah, the armor, and the actual the prop. I don't know what her name was.
Prop
Anyway,
master.
the prop master. I forget her name, but neither of them were there because they were off. They had a lot of stress under them, so they were off prepping the next scene.
So the people that are actually supposed to be handling the fucking weapons weren't even there, and they went ahead and rehearsed without them?
As far as we understand,
Holy
that's the story.
fuck,
yeah.
bro.
From what I first heard was that the assistant director handed the gun to Bob.
To Alec, yeah.
Alec, thank you.
yeah.
Sorry. Senior moment, sorry. Handed to Alec, but then you hear that Hannah actually came on, gave it to him. They, had it, put it in his holster, and then wardrobe came in, wanted to fix something on him. So he went to go take it out, and the assistant director took the gun before the
Holy
fatal
fuck.
shot happened, which is a big no-no. Like, assistant directors, you're supposed to be there as an echo. You're not supposed to be there, okay.
Well,
unless
you were
you're-
just saying, if you're doing your job right, nobody knows your name.
Exactly. You just echo, especially on a safety concern, and you echo. I've been on, like we did, I'm not sure if you run Set Monday, the short film, when we had a gun.
No, I wasn't.
Well, it's the most stressful thing that you're saying. They're so stressed about it. I can only imagine. We only had one gun on that show. And because it was independent and because we were, union or anything like that, it was my job to understand the safety of the sets.
Yep.
So in that condition, I would hold a gun, but hold a safety meeting with the prop or the prop master.
Oh yeah, it's a whole other thing. Yeah.
Oh, that thing when it's independent of, forced to union kind of ways. But union,
Yeah.
that's why there's a union.
Yeah, you bring up
Yeah.
the safety meeting. That's a whole other aspect of it. Before we even start shooting, the entire crew gathers around, and the first AD, the assistant director, holds a safety meeting about exits. We have rubber guns on set. We're going to have some real weapons on set. And then he says, okay, does anybody want to say anything? The armor will usually come up and explain what gun is used, what the actions are going to be, and what the procedure is for everybody else. As like nobody come in. Our armor on this TV show I'm on now, John Navarro, he's really good. He's one of the best, and he makes it a point at every safety meeting to tell everybody and to remind everybody that they do not rush the set once they call cut when there's a gun on set. They have to wait until he goes in, until the gun is handed, until he makes sure that the gun is clear. And then when he says the gun is clear, that's when everybody comes in. And we have a really good crew. Everybody respects the craft. They understand. They understand the rules. They understand why why those rules are there.
Well, fucking, I mean, obviously we had a rude awakening on why, because
Yeah.
that doesn't
Oh, yeah.
happen often, right? Like, I mean, the only other time that I remember it happening in my lifetime was for The Crow, was with Brandon Lee,
Brandon Lee,
right?
yeah.
I don't even remember hearing about anything like that other than that.
There was
one.
There was a few
before that.
There was
way before that. Yeah.
John Eric Hexon. He had. I wrote that down. He had. Yeah, John Eric Hexon, 1984. He was doing a TV series cover up. He had a gun with blanks in it, and they called cut. They're doing the scene. They called cut. I think he had a couple blanks in the gun. They only got through one or two, and then they cut it early, and they had to relight or something. So he went back and he was sitting down, and he had the blanks in the gun, and he was sitting at his cast chair, and he was holding it like this, and he had his finger on the trigger, and he something happened, and he actually pulled the trigger. Even though they were blanks and they're not real, the pressure coming out of the gun fractured his skull, and pieces of his skull got implanted in his brain, and he died, I think, like 3 or 4 days later
Holy
in the hospital.
fuck, bruh.
That right there was a big learning experience, unfortunately, for the film industry. Props and the armor after that made it a point to go in and grab the gun from the actor every time they call cut.
Yep.
Every time they call cut. Wow. And that was a sad one. He was an up and coming actor.
That's
70s or 80s.
That's crazy, because I mean that's the thing is you got to have gun etiquette in the first place,
Absolutely.
right?
Absolutely.
Like someone doing that's out of pocket. Like you don't I don't care how empty the gun is. I don't care how many blanks are in the motherfucker. Putting it to your head, fucking yikes, bro. Like I teach my boys too proper gun etiquette. Like you gotta check, like Jay was saying, even if you didn't, that it's empty, right? You know that it's empty because you check it so many times. I don't care how many times I check it. I always, when I grab my gun, I look. Boom.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
second
Every
nature.
single time.
Second nature.
And this is just for regular fucking life. On a set, that's a whole different situation.
Yeah.
Whole different situation.
The biggest thing is, why were there live rounds on set?
That's what I was about to ask.
Yeah.
At all.
That's the $1 million question.
That's what I was about to ask.
They were saying that the company that produces the blanks, or that they don't even sell real ammunition.
Yeah, no, I highly doubt
So
that.
it was a live fucking round in a live pistol.
As far as we know, yes. I don't know. I haven't
See, that
read
shit's
the final
It's
report.
crazy because all the steps that need to be taken, and then like you got movies like John Wick, right? John Wick 5,000.
Could you imagine working on that, bro?
Dude,
Like, holy
like,
shit.
that would be-
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Hold on. To sidetrack a little bit, my favorite part of all the John Wick movies was the beginning. I believe it was the second one where he's running from the guys and he ducks into this shop and he's hiding and they
Oh, and
come
he
in
makes the gun?
and then all of a sudden there's like he's in a knife shop.
Yeah.
And they start throwing knives.
that's the sickest scene.
Yeah.
And then you hear it like they don't even like stab him. You just hear it like thump their head.
I like how that's the same scene, bro. But he has to build his own gun with the old pieces of other guns that are there.
Yeah, hell yeah.
making it.
Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah, John Wick, bro. Could you imagine?
Did you
though?
ever see the training that he did for the?
Oh,
for
bro,
those?
he's a fucking beast,
Yeah,
bro.
he's a
Yeah.
beast.
But
I
but
saw that
you
video.
can see he takes that shit fucking serious.
Damn right.
He is dead ass serious about his guns and his weapon training.
Yeah. Oh,
And you
yeah.
can see it.
Yeah.
I can only imagine talking about all of the steps that you got to take for this was so Russ is a Western, I'm assuming, right? I'm assuming something
Yeah.
like that. So this was one gun on set. It was one gun that they were filming this, and they weren't even filming yet. It was practice. Imagine a film with that many weapons on it, like John Wick.
That's where experience comes into play. There are, I don't know the exact number. John knows the number, but there's like over 100 million gunshots in the movies, maybe more than that, per year.
Holy shit!
You know what I'm saying? And for something like that to happen, it's mind-boggling to those of us who who are in charge of that. It's mind-boggling to those of us who work in that department. Like when that happened, we, a few of us, we were sitting around, we were like brainstorming, like how could that even be possible with the precautions that we have, with all the steps that we take to make sure that we're safe, that the actors are safe, that the crew is safe. It's
Do you think that goes into how it wasn't a union film, to where like corners were cut? Do you think, or?
Yeah, I'm sure there's many different reasons at play.
Well, and at the end of the
that would
day,
be
the
one,
the biggest situation here is the fact that a life was lost on set.
Yeah.
Point blank. Period. It don't like that's the worst. That's absolute worst case scenario, right? Like all the precautions are put into place for that to never fucking happen.
Yeah, when you say that a life is lost on set, to bring the gun tragedy into perspective, I think there's been like 4 gunshots accidents on movies in the last 150 years.
Yeah, see that's and how many films have been shot?
There's
in that
been
amount of time?
exactly, and stuntmen. There's been, I want to say over 500 plus. That number might even be wrong, but there's been over 500 accidental deaths and or dismemberments because of stunts. You know what I'm saying? And that's not including crew that's working up high, rigging stuff.
The people you don't see.
The people you don't, the people you don't see, the people you don't really hear about, unless it's, big, like on the news, like
A tragedy like this,
Sarah Jones.
or a tragedy like this. That's the
Yeah.
only time you hear about.
So
something
like
like
it
that.
talked about like your like union kind of stuff is you go back to the complaints that were given to the producers, lodging, pay, and safety concerns, and then there was a lot of people don't talk about this, or maybe they did like whatever happened, but there were instances where there was 2 pop-offs, like that same
That's right.
Hold
We
up.
talked
that
about
same gun went off twice
What
prior.
the fuck?
Like just out of nowhere, it
And
just went off.
the crew complained, and part of the crew complained about that, and they actually walked off that morning.
That was and then that's when they brought in the new crew, right?
Damn, bro.
I've worked with that crew on numerous shows, and if that camera crew walks because of safety concerns, that's telling you something.
Yeah.
Because they were the top notch. They were a very good crew.
But where was the crew replacement crew? They were non-union, correct?
Exactly. That's from what I understand.
From what
yes.
you understand, the crew that they brought in because of the concerns of the union crew. were
They're
so
like,
high.
fuck it, let's just hire whoever the fuck is ready to fucking work.
Yeah.
Fucking
That's
So
the
that-
problem
that-
with non-union work.
So that would go back into like the stressfulness, the budgeting probably. Their budget started dwindling, and that's why they didn't have certain pay for certain people. That when you're moving, like you're in Santa Fe and you live in Albuquerque, you depend on per diem. You depend on your paycheck being there, because you're putting out all your own money and then going to an unsafe set.
That's right. They weren't paid for like 2 weeks either.
It was just a whole mounting, and the fact that it's okay. Having a gun on set during rehearsal that wasn't checked, having it in the rehearsal without the armor on set,
Having live rounds.
on set,
Yeah.
having a gun pointing it at somebody on set. But the fact, this is where it comes into Alec Baldwin. Like, if I'm an actor, I'm checking that gun. If I'm pointing it anywhere near somebody, I'm going to have it, and I'm going to have a personal conversation.
And he's been an actor for what, 35, 40 fucking years?
Why did you pull the trigger
Yeah.
in a rehearsal? Why are you pulling the trigger in a rehearsal? Why having the gun in your hand in the first place is one thing.
But then
when you're
actually squeezing the trigger?
squeezing. But actually, I don't, because of those 2 pop-offs before, I don't know if that's
That it might have went off.
100%
Yeah.
that he did pull the trigger. It could have one of those things where it went like this and went off, but we don't know because we weren't there.
Yeah, I don't want to speculate, but I saw a video about an armorer who was going through the motions with that exact replica, that exact gun that he was using. And what he said was, what he believes happened is that Alec, at some point during the rehearsal, Alec pulled the trigger, which wouldn't do nothing because it would cock it back. And then at some point he was messing with the
Hammer.
The hammer.
hammer.
And being that he had the trigger down, the safety was not in line with, when it snaps back. When the hammer snaps back, the safety was out because the trigger was pulled. And so when he started messing with the thumb, he did like halfway, and it
actually fucking went
cocked-
off.
Yeah, and it went back, and it was enough pressure to send the projectile out.
Brother, this sounds like mismanagement from top to motherfucking bottom.
All the way through it. That's why it's
Well,
hard.
the way they designed it, they designed
All the
guns
way through.
so they don't, like if you're in a car accident with the gun and your car flips, the gun
Shouldn't
can't
go
go
off.
off. Like it
Shouldn't- yeah.
shouldn't go off. That you have to physically pull that trigger. I forget how many pounds of pressure it is to shoot a gun.
To actually get the trigger
yeah,
to
yeah. On
fold
one of
in.
Denzel Washington, on one of his movies, he says it.
It's like
12,
3?
12 pounds of
3
pressure or
8?
something like that.
I can't remember.
It's not a lot.
Yeah,
it's not a lot.
No, it's not a lot,
But it's enough to where you actually have to put
like
pressure
if you throw
on
the
it.
gun, it shouldn't fucking go off.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So like, that's how they build them.
Damn,
That's how
dog,
they
that sounds like this is a professional fucking film. This is a major motion picture. This isn't let's go shoot something for YouTube with the homies up in the fucking Sandias real quick. This is a major motion picture.
It's not playing cops and robbers. with
Yeah,
the
this is not. That's fucking insane, bro. That it was so fucking grossly mismanaged, bro.
In a
And
time
someone-
where it's supposed to be 10 times managed because
Exactly.
we have COVID.
Yeah, and I'm glad you brought that up. I'm glad you brought that up because there was extra regulations on set because of fucking COVID. You guys had to jump through so many fucking hoops. I can't even believe films were actually even made during this time because of the hoops you guys had to jump through.
It's wild. And, as an actor, you want to be in the scene. You want to get riled up. In rehearsal, you want to get ready. And I understand when this is why me personally on my sets for the rehearsal, that's why you have this. So you can get that out of your way because you know you're trying to get in the scene or, devil's advocate obviously again. But you have to be in it as an actor, but then that's where it comes in. You're a producer as well. So you get out to say, oh, I'm safe. I have people on my team. I'm an actor. I got to do this. But there are certain things as an actor as well that you have to perform for your team and your people that are on set that you are responsible for as well.
Well, and if you're cutting the fucking part of your team that's making sure that you're fucking safe halfway through the fucking season, man, like how the fuck you expect to make it anywheres? Like that, man, that at the end of the day, bro, realistically, dog, like, I mean, it seems like no one's gonna ever get like true, like, no one's gonna know. It's gonna be like speculation for a long time. But obviously there was a settlement and obviously they're going back into production.
Which is wild.
Right?
I want to know what was in that settlement because now her husband's an executive producer.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
The only thing I could think of is that that's the only way he was going to get compensated.
Right?
If
Because-
if the movie's not made, they're not making
So
money.
pretty
on
much
it.
the movie's fucking his now in like realistically.
We'd have to
if
see
you're
what the
looking at it like
contract
that.
says, but I mean, yeah.
That's a fucking touchy subject right there, bro. Like I don't even know. I wouldn't want to put myself in that position anyway. But to think about it, like how the fuck do you move forward? Like is there any of the old crew gonna come back? Like I know the director was hit too, right?
Yeah, director was hit too, but he says he's coming back. But they're saying that it's going to be a whole new crew. This is what.
He's
it's-
coming back to Rust, or
It's going to be
just
filmed. It's going to be
The
filmed in
director directed,
California.
yeah.
Oh, so they're moving
It's
location.
not. Yeah, it's not coming here. It's going to be filmed in California, I believe.
Oh, wow,
Same cast, probably same producers.
Damn, bro.
But yeah, the crew's not going to be the same.
Well, it's got to be one of those things where it's like, okay, I guess I'm playing devil's advocate here too. Do you throw in the fucking towel completely, or do you move forward for like legacy aspect? Like, do you finish it for her?
That's exactly my thought when I first heard that he was going to be executive producer. Is okay. Now let's make this about Hutchinson.
Yeah.
Let's bring you on as executive producer.
Yep.
That way you're on set every day. Everybody sees you. It's a vision for everybody to know this is what we're here for.
Yeah.
Yes.
And also to help out with sales, to get people to even come to the movie again.
Yeah. Because if he's involved, then
like,
we should be
we
involved
feel
too.
we feel like we were supporting
Yeah.
that kind of cause kind of thing. So that's probably one of the reasons I think that you.
Yeah, absolutely, I would agree.
That, and I mean, that for me, that's what I landed on too, because I mean, it was fucking tragedy that nobody like wanted to happen, right? But if you just throw in the chips, take some kind of settlement, and walk away, what was the fucking point? Like, there was no.
It's still a tragedy, but
It's-
there's,
you feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's gonna be a tragedy regardless. Like, holy fucking shit, bro. Like, but if you don't move forward, I guess, right, in some aspects. And like I said, I don't even know if this is the realistic. Like, I don't even know if this is the reasoning behind it.
Right.
But that's how I could wrap my mind around it.
I could see myself if something happened to like my significant other and be like, let's finish this
For her.
For her.
Yes.
Like I want her stuff that she shot to be out there. I want people to see not what she died for, but what she did doing
And what she was about.
What she was about. She
Yes.
died doing what she loved.
Yes.
Now watch it,
Exactly.
please.
Yep.
it could act as a reminder, as a reminder to that we have these regulations, we have these safety protocols for a reason.
Do not fucking, you can't skimp, bruh. If the product isn't, and this is just business in general, bruh. If the product isn't fully ready and you're cutting fucking corners and you're not investing in it, someone is gonna get fucked up because of it. Whether it's the consumer, whether it's someone that's in your business chain, if you're skimping on the investment and you're cutting corners, it's gonna affect the final product. Point blank, period. There's no way around it.
Yeah.
I don't want to label Alec, but it seems like he was the running force to like whatever it takes. We're gonna film whatever it takes. I
Running
don't care
gun,
what
running
it is. Running gun. We got to get this done because it's his money.
Yeah. Oh,
He
yeah.
put in most of the budget is from his money, I believe.
Fuck, bro.
So and then for that to happen to him, I couldn't. I don't know if I could do that.
Yeah.
As Alec, like go back on that set.
Yeah.
And handle guns again on set. But then again, like if it's a whole new crew and if they're taking precautions to where like, okay,
And you don't have millions of dollars invested in it.
Yeah, because it's a loss,
yeah, they have to go in and like,
bro.
I guess change location. I guess that's first.
Yeah.
They're gonna have people watching over.
Oh,
it
lawyers
now.
are
Easy.
going to be on
They're
set.
gonna,
Oh,
yeah,
guaranteed.
They're not gonna be fucking around anymore.
Yeah, I kind of tripped out that actually.
I
went
could
back into
imagine
production.
I could
Very.
imagine that it'll be a union film this time around.
Yeah, guaranteed.
Oh,
Like I said,
SAG stepping in for sure.
I tripped out. Like when I seen that it was going back into production, I was like, "Holy fuck,
Yeah.
bro!"
Yeah.
Like I couldn't believe it.
That was my first thought. I was like, what the fuck? Are
Yeah,
you
I
kidding
couldn't
me?
believe it. Yep, that's it.
Yeah.
So, COVID and being in the fucking film industry, so you guys probably had to deal with all kinds of crazy shit.
That
I finally went and watched. Well, I didn't finally. I watched it. What the fuck am I talking about? I watched it when that shit came out. Was the new Top Gun, right?
I wanted to watch that last night.
Bro, it's fucking amazing.
That's a good one. It's a good
fucking
one.
amazing, man. So it made me think about when Tom Cruise was fucking spazzing out on set, right? And everybody was painting him as this fucking psycho. And I mean, we all remember him jumping on Oprah's couch. So it was easy to paint that picture, right? But to see the final product of Top Gun 2 and to think about when they were filming it, bro, you guys had to walk on fucking eggshells.
I had to when I did my film, which I'm hoping it comes out soon. When you finish saving the world, I had to pass 8 COVID tests before I can even go on set.
Yeah.
I had to pass the test. I had a nurse come to my house and give me a test. Okay,
Man.
cool. We're back in 2 days. 2 days later, get a test. Okay, now you can go to a wardrobe fitting.
What year was this in the
This is
pandemic?
February 21.
Oh, so this was
This
in
is
the thick of the shit.
month 1.
Yeah, thick
Yeah.
of the shit.
Oh, excuse me. Yeah,
Year,
no,
yeah.
it was 2020. Excuse me, February
Yeah.
2020.
Oh, that was the beginning.
beginning. This is like right before you had to be vaccinated to be on set.
Yeah.
This is right before all that stuff. So
Yeah.
it's testing, and then if you have somebody that says positive on a set, you have to shut down.
The whole fucking
one person you had to shut down at that time, and like okay, everybody go home. Everybody's got to get tested, and then you have to get tested to get back on set.
That's
tomorrow.
thousands and thousands of dollars
Dude,
you're using. You're losing.
I started on a TV show in January of 21. We were out in Alta Vista, New Mexico. It's like a 45-minute drive from Las Vegas to set. And it must have been it had to have been like a $500,000 day with all the crew, all the cast, getting everybody out there. And we were on like our first or second scene when the COVID team came rushing in, and they rushed one of our stand-ins off set, and being that she was on set with all of our
Everybody.
main talent, they shut us down first day. It was our first. So we were on stage for maybe like 3 days, and then we went out there. So it was our first day on location, way out in the middle of nowhere. One little girl brought the entire production to
crazy.
its knees,
That's
and
fucking
we
crazy.
we were shut down for a week. It actually worked out because we got an extra week of prep.
Right? Hey, and this is before they had the rapid test, right? Because because
Yep.
you had the test and then okay, go with the set. But when I was going on, like you had the rapid test, so you had like 10 minutes. You go there, or stop, sir, before you can even get on set. All right, boom, boom, boom. All right,
You're good to go.
you're good to go. And then that way, you know, if this happened, because on some script supervisor or somebody, you would get an email and saying so and so has caught COVID. This and that. We will contact people that are been in contact.
Been
with
in
this person.
contact.
So, but when the beginning, like when you find out, and where's she at? Oh, she's on
They
set.
shut down the whole set.
Yeah,
The whole thing, dude.
So you're props. So you're working close with the actors. So did they have the 6-foot regulations? Like, did you have
Yeah.
masks? Like,
So-
were you like full fucking hazmat suit when it first started?
So when I'm badging up, officers or actors, propping them up, we have to have the mask on, we have to have glasses on, and at that stage, in early, like I started my first show in August of 2020. They shut us down in March, and so I enjoyed my downtime for a few months, and then in August I started up my show again. Masks, goggles, face mask.
Damn.
And that's how and gloves. And that's how you approach the actor. Props, hair and makeup, anybody that was within a vicinity, within this vicinity of an actor had to have all that. And it was fucking weird. It was
fucking
weird getting
bad,
back.
bro.
It was weird getting back on set, starting to work like that because, you'll be working and if it's cold out, you got the glasses on, you're fogging up, you can't really see. You know what I'm saying? You're kind of like trying to look through the bottom of the glasses that's not fogged to do your thing.
no shit.
And not only that, but then you're walking away, you're still on set, you still have to be donned up, but as you're walking away, there's cables, there's light stands, there's dozens of other people, it's like ants, a bunch of ants just kind of moving around. Everybody has a purpose, and everybody can't see what the fuck they're doing.
It's crazy that we actually even got movies made during that time. Like realistically, with all the regulations and all the shit that was going on, the fact that movies actually were made during that time is kind of crazy.
Yeah,
Which one of the movies that I actually got hyped about was made during that time. It was A Hard Day Fall, which I was supposed to be in. But I mean, I was supposed to be working with Idris, but I mean, next time, buddy. But to have that finished and put out, I love that movie.
that was a great movie. I loved it.
One thing a lot of people don't realize.
That was the one he got COVID on, right?
Yeah.
That was the one.
Yeah.
That was that movie. Okay. Yeah.
But one thing that caught me that no one ever noticed, or at least I don't think, they had reggae music in a Western.
I did not notice that.
I didn't even
I
think
did not
about that
notice
either.
that.
Go back and watch it. You're like, because it's like kind of like Bob Marley, and when you're watching a Western, that's how good that movie was to me personally. That I noticed it, but it didn't throw
It
you
didn't
out.
throw you off of the illusion.
Yeah.
Damn.
That's crazy.
So,
Yeah,
but-
it's I don't know, man. I'm glad to see obviously that we're on the other end of this for not just the movie industry,
Yeah,
for
yeah.
just us in general.
Well, it
right?
was only 2 weeks.
Fucking 2 million years, bruh. I want them fucking years back, bro. It's weird. Like my time has it's shifted. Like when I think 5 years ago, I think holy shit, 5 years ago. But fuck, 5 years ago was like a blink of an eye because it's been 3 years. So it's my son Matt. He's only got this is his last year in elementary school.
Yep.
Because of COVID learning and all the online shit, it made the whole time frame of school feel fucking weird.
Yeah, it's like everything we talk about now is oh, that was pre-COVID. Or
Yeah, I know.
that was
Yeah.
post-COVID.
Yeah.
It shifted and changed everything.
It's kind of
bro,
like BC AD.
yeah,
yes.
no shit.
Yes.
It 100% is like
BC
that, bro.
AC.
Yeah, bro, and to see, moving forward, dog. I say this, if you were lucky enough to not be and have your family like super affected by it, right? Like that's a good thing. You should you should count yourself. Like we were tallying up before we started rolling the fucking cameras here. Me and Jesh were the only ones that have gotten it that was here. I don't know if you got. Did you get it before? So say well, now it's even. We're split. It's 3 and 3, right? So we were the only ones. So like some people, everybody had different time during this. Everybody experienced it the same but differently.
I got very lucky that it took me 2 years to get it, I think.
Yeah.
Because if I got it right away, I'd have freaked out. But
Bro, I got that shit right away, bro. I was fucking, and it fucking kicked my ass. And I'm healthy, brother.
Right.
I run all the time. I exercise. I eat as healthy as possible. I'm not overweight. Like, I don't have any fucking existing conditions. That shit fucked me up. I'm still barely getting my smell back.
I'm so thankful. I went through like missing half of my taste buds with the Bell's palsy, thankfully. So I knew, but I was like, please don't let me lose my taste again, because that's the fucking worst.
Bro, I didn't lose it. It fucked it up. It shifted it. Like we talked about that. I think it was the first pod we talked about it when Jay was talking about Thanksgiving. We ain't gonna get into that though, Jay, right? We ain't getting back into Thanksgiving conversation because it's on its way, bro.
Yeah,
but like that's when I noticed it was during Thanksgiving, and it was the first time my mom had cooked the turkey in years. And I'm sitting there, I'm like, and for me, it was like chicken and turkey and fucking all the shit that you fucking want to eat, man. It did. I didn't lose my sense of smell and taste. It fucked it up. It brought in this new aroma and taste that was just like rotting fucking disgustingness.
That's why I still stay safe, man. I really wanted to go to that Night of Living cover bands. I really wanted to go. Then I got up to the front door. I was like, I look in, like, oh, they can see people at. I think the only reason why I didn't go in is because I was waiting for a callback. I just did an audition, and they're going to start filming next week. So I'm like, I'm going to go in here, try to have a good time, and then I'm going to test positive, and then I'm going to get that call, hey, come on in for a test. We're going to want you to get a wardrobe.
See, because now it's at
You
that
made the
point.
right decision.
Yeah, I see it. Now it's
to.
at that point. I feel like less people, and I don't know the statistics. I could be fucking talking out of my ass. It seems like less people are actually like passing away from it, right?
Right.
Versus being sick, dealing with it, and having to like lose jobs or lose opportunities, or just having to still quarantine in some way, right? Differently. So it feels like we've shifted into that.
I think it's doctors and specialists that had enough time to actually study and how to what do I give certain people? Okay, you have asthma, or you have this, or you had chicken pox, or you didn't have chicken pox, so you got to take this. So I think it took a while. I think that's one of the reasons why we had such a high death count, is because no one knew how do we treat this shit? Like what? And then there's politics on top of that. Like, who do you believe?
Yeah, exactly.
That shit got out of fucking. That shit was out of control, dog. Like that was for me. That was the worst part of it. To watch people fucking go back and forth. I'm like, fucking brothers are fighting over this fucking shit, bro. I can't stand that shit. That shit, like, it bugs the fuck out of me, bro. Especially because it's usually a bunch of people that are just trying to fucking spout out their ideas and live in an echo chamber, and they don't want to fucking.
It's what they heard.
Yeah, it's what they heard, and it's exactly what they believe. So they lean into that and they find that, and then they just run with it, bro.
Gets reinforced.
Yeah, and then they just fucking go back and forth with each other. And I'm like, can you guys just shut the fuck up already, bro?
On top of like having so much negativity and like crazy stuff going around, like those people just snapping, and then like, oh, I don't give a shit anymore. I'm gonna let you know how I feel. I don't care how you feel.
And then since everybody was super hyper plugged in, right? You have people fucking fuck you and fuck your. I fucking hate you. I always knew you were a fucking bitch.
The world's ending, so I'm gonna
fuck you. Like it got totally fucking out of pocket, bro. Like
My question is the Karen thing a before COVID or an after?
oh, that's before.
Yeah, it's before.
That is before.
That's funny.
Hey, these bitches been out here wilding, Jack.
Okay. I know, because I
They've been
haven't
out
heard it
here
until after.
wilding. They just want. To me, it's somebody that doesn't want other people to have fucking fun, man. All right. The worst one that I seen was old girl that was there with the fucking cop glasses. She's on the phone and they're just trying to barbecue. She's like, bro, that was the worst shit ever. It's like, bitch, get the fuck out of here. Leave them alone. They're just fucking cooking and having a good time. What the fuck is wrong with you?
Give her a burger, walk
I
away.
feel like people are anti-fun sometimes, bruh.
But it was devil's advocate again. It was good to show like, okay, this is how people of color are being treated. Not a lot of people believed it, but now that the whole cell phone thing came
There's
up,
cameras.
like, and that was a big old thing. That makes me laugh when people try to be angry and trying to get their point across, and trying to get the angle and
It's
shit.
fucking crazy, bro.
What are you really doing
this
it
is going on
for?
TikTok,
Right?
You're fucking internet famous now.
Yeah,
bro. That was definitely pre-COVID.
Women, you're the one in the wrong.
Yeah, but it seems like now it's just we got to see it worse because some of those COVID Karen videos, fucking yikes. Some of those, bro. my fucking rights and fucking fuck you. And I'm coming into Sprouts and I want to spit on all the motherfucking cucumbers. This is how I live my life. I want to lick your fucking face. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like, calm the fuck down.
I hate
bruh.
it, but I love watching it.
Oh, it's like a fucking train
Yeah.
wreck. You can't look away, man.
I watched last night, actually. I fell asleep to watching Cannabis.
I did. I had some fucking nightmares, man.
Oh, a Karen playlist.
Hey, you probably had
Bitching
some
at people for no reason in my dream and shit.
Bro, I want that. That probably did the
best of
harm.
Karens.
That probably did harm for women that are out here that are named Karen that aren't Karens.
Yeah, totally.
Cause I ain't trying to fuck a Karen now.
Did you guys ever see the one with that one on the plane? And it's like this female mom. She's like in the army. She has her baby. She's holding her baby on the plane, and this lady's like complaining the whole fucking time. The baby's gonna wake up when we take off, and it's gonna ruin my flight. And bro, I watched it for like fucking 10 minutes. I was so pissed.
She was
I
just
like,
complaining that there was a
Kick this
baby?
bitch off the
Yeah,
fucking
kick
plane
this bitch
already.
off here.
Come on, like. She's telling off this lady that's like fighting for our country. You know what I'm saying?
Because she has a baby.
Because she's
what the
holding
fuck would
her newborn.
What does
like,
she want her newborn to go in the bottom with the luggage, or what
like,
the fuck is wrong
what
with
are you
this
gonna
broad?
do? You want her to get off the plane just because she has a kid? Like,
So I got a question for you, Jay.
what's up?
We just kind of got into it. Did that name fuck it up? Are you gonna fuck a Karen, Jay?
I don't discriminate.
Or are you gonna I don't discriminate.
I don't discriminate
I don't
on names.
discriminate. But will you think twice if you're like, damn, this bitch named Karen? Fuck.
No, I don't know. I don't think so, Doc. As long as she ain't like, if we're in if we're like out at a club or something, and she's telling, if Karen's Karening,
She's Karening.
then I'll be like, okay, nah.
I think you'll be okay with fucking her, but like not telling stories about it.
Oh, yeah. So
Yeah,
Juanita's really named Karen now, Jay.
Start changing
we got
names.
to the bottom of this. Make some motherfucking noise for Juanita really being named Karen, Jay.
One.
I don't know, man.
That's hilarious.
I don't know, man. I think it did damage to Karens that aren't Karens. Because if I see it, if a girl introduces herself to me and she's like, hi, my name's Karen, I'm like, man, okay.
Kind of ruins short haircuts too.
Hey, nah, I like long hair anyways, so you know what I'm saying? I'm that's just me. Not no discrimination against short hair, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, just, you
but
know.
my preference is longer. But you're right, it did kind of fuck up the bob. If she's got a bob and
I didn't think you could at all, but you know, you ended up doing it.
fucking yikes, bro. You can see it though. A lot of times you can see it written on their face. It's like, oh yeah, she about to spaz out. I seen it.
That's a Karen right
What's a dude's name? What's the opposite? What's the guy's version? A Craig? A Kyle?
A Kevin.
A Kevin?
It's a Kevin.
A Kevin.
That's
Okay,
funny.
so I seen a
That's
Kevin
funny.
at Albertsons, and he was a COVID Kevin. Dubbed it. Yeah, y'all heard me say it here first. This motherfucker was a COVID Kevin. So I already had it twice. I'm juiced up, bruh. I'm fucking juiced up.
Yeah.
I'm at fucking Albertsons. I'm getting some food, and I'm chopping it up with homegirl. They still had to wear masks at that time. She still had her mask on, right? And she's talking to me, and you could tell she's a smoker. You could just hear it in her voice. She was probably like about 50. Yeah, you know, my tias, they all sound the same because they all smoke like that, right? So we're talking, and we're just chopping up game, and she literally turns away and goes,
And her mask.
clears her throat in her mask. This fucking dude, COVID Kevin, was right next to me. This motherfucker jumped out of line, bruh, in full hazmat suit, mind you. This was already when we didn't have to wear masks. This motherfucker was dressed like that Outbreak movie where I was waiting for Dustin Hoffman to fucking pull up. And he freaks out. You got COVID. You coughed. I'm going to get sick. I'm looking at this dude like, what the fuck is going on? I need the manager. I'm like, hold up, bro. She's checking me out first, my dude. I'm not going to get trapped in this fucking perpetual fucking situation here. Calm down. I'm not going to die because of you. And she's like, I'm sorry. She was so embarrassed. She was pale. You could tell she was so
clearing her
embarrassed,
throat, bro.
My brother, this dude jumped out of line. And if anybody's been to the Albertsons on fucking Montgomery and San Mateo, those aisles ain't big, man. This dude jumped, and I was like, she checked me out. I was like, man, it sounds like you're about to have a great day. I'll see you later. Like,
So that's the other end of the spectrum.
Yeah,
that's
that's
like
the COVID.
there's Karens, and then there's the overdoing
Kevins.
it.
Kevin, but see, Karens overdo it though. That's the COVID Kevin, and
But he was all
bruh. Yeah. Like, and bro, he was there getting fucking donuts, man. If you're that My dude, are
donuts
the
are gonna kill you
donuts-
before COVID.
No shit. Are the donuts really worth it, COVID Kevin? I'm asking you this. He's gonna see this. He's like, oh man, he put me on blast. I am COVID Kevin.
That's the thing. You can't cough or sneeze anymore. Like I get into like a line, like I gotta sneeze. Like fuck, is it allergies? I'm like, oh, don't do it. Just hold it in. Don't sneeze. Don't pay attention.
I'll
Don't
be
cough.
real. I never paid attention to that before now, and like I'm not saying that I'm like looking out for it, but now I hear it more. Like if someone coughs, I'm like,
You would never even think about it.
What
Why
gets
threatening
me is
me?
if someone's coughing like crazy, like in a
Yeah.
I'm at like a restaurant.
Yeah.
That fucking pisses me off. It's like, well, go step outside and clear your
Yeah.
fucking throat.
calm down, dog.
Go to
Yeah,
bed.
chill out.
you know,
Yeah, if
like-
it's recurring, for sure.
Yeah, exactly. You know what I mean? But
That's like
a
that's
one-off.
Like, that's like remember when people used to be able to smoke in restaurants? I remember that. That was a whole situation.
there was like the smoking section.
No, there was a whole. I remember when it was just even a section. You could just light up in the
Oh,
middle
shit.
of a motherfucker. I remember being at
Ashtray
Village
on every
Inn,
table.
ashtray right there. My pops, my dad, just smoking right there. We're having some pancakes with some fucking cancer, bro. It was fucking different times, my dude. It was some. The '90s were some
nicotine
different.
pancakes.
That
Some
must have been-
different times.
That must have been where the Karens were born.
I could smoke with my fucking pancakes. Listen here. I was born in 1973, motherfucker.
I have rats.
That was wild to smoke in restaurants, but like to find like remember you can smoke on airplanes.
Yeah, that would be crazy.
I was
That's a
never
trip.
like
That's a
never
trip.
flew, but like
That was
You're
before
in
my
this
time.
metal tube, thousands of fucking feet in the sky, and everybody's just chiefing cigarettes. It's all smoked out in there, bruh.
how?
That's fucking insane,
It's not
bro.
the hot box I want to be in.
No, bro. For
that
real,
was,
come on.
Well, that was the Mad Men days. Everybody was cool back then.
Yeah, bro, dog. Yeah, that's crazy that they sold it to you to make you look cool, huh? Can you imagine that? Like you're watching an ad, you're like,
What did you used to do? You used to have to like
yeah, you
hang a
gotta hit
pack
it.
on your hand.
You still
or
do
some
it.
shit?
You still do it,
Oh,
bro.
I don't
You gotta do it, bro. That's like if someone like if someone's eating M&Ms or peanuts and they don't like shake them a little bit before they put them in their mouth. I look at them like,
Wait, yeah,
Can't trust them. Can't trust them.
you're a fed. If they don't hit the cigarettes, like
I hate that though.
if they, it's bro,
drives
it's-
me insane.
I'm so used to it, dog. Like I see it, I'm like, damn, this dude, he's a glitch in the matrix.
Right.
He is a NPC. What is it called, Jesh? A non-playable character? That's a non-playable non-playable character activities right there, my dude.
That's fucking funny.
Hey, what else? What else? We got something else that we got to. I know there's others. Oh, let's talk about. We haven't had a chance to talk about this yet. Fucking Biden, bruh. Fucking getting rid of. We're taking steps forward in cannabis, bruh. Like strides, my dude.
Yeah.
So to pardon people that have like I guess maybe not misdemeanor, but like not crazy cannabis charges, right? Dog, that's such a step forward, bro.
Dude.
Like it really is.
But it's gonna be that's on the federal level. You got to have like a state level. All these governors and
Yep.
mayors are gonna have to jump on board too. It's great that he did it, but we need at
And
a
I
state
think,
level.
honestly, I think a lot of them are. Look at how many states have already went recreational, right?
Yep.
Every recreational state's going to do it for damn sure, right? So, but what has fucked with me for so many years, bro, is the fact that it's a Schedule 1 is fucking bonkers, my dude. That is insane. You mean to tell me smoking a joint is just as bad as fucking smoking some crack? Or snorting some fentanyl. I don't even know if fentanyl's scheduled as a Schedule 1 right now. It's fucking not, bruh.
That shit, that should be like.
That I said it in the last podcast. That's a
Yeah.
fucking biological weapon, bruh. And it's not Schedule 1. That shit's fucking crazy. So the fact that we're making, while we're getting there, we're gonna see it in our lifetime. I'm saying it. We're gonna see it federally legalized. I've said this multiple times. I said it on the farm table. Shout out to Donnie. Shout out to farmers. I said it. The reason that it has taken this long is because it is so hard to regulate, right? We've seen it with prohibition with alcohol. And alcohol is not easy to make. You can't just, hey, I'm gonna go grow some alcohol. You know what I'm saying? So that's easier to regulate. How the fuck do you regulate a plant that's called a weed for a simple fact that it does grow easily? Not saying you're gonna grow fire, right? You're not gonna grow gas, all sick OG or all sick gas. Shameless plug. Enchanted Botanicals make some motherfucking noise. You're not gonna grow gas, right? It's gonna take you time and invest. But anybody can grow it, dog. Really. So how do you fucking regulate a plant that has so many benefits that anybody can grow?
It's gonna get harder too.
You make it illegal.
Yeah.
and you start a campaign of propaganda that makes it look like, oh man, Reefer Madness, dog, that movie, I know I shouldn't say it, but that movie's fucking hilarious, bruh. That shit is, the fact that people believed that shit is beyond me.
Yeah. I think Pineapple Express.
I was
in
about to say
beginning-
the best intro to a movie about it. Oh, item 9.
Oh yeah, 100%. Yeah,
Illegal, yeah.
dog, it's,
Yeah, he's all.
it's crazy.
you.
It's so crazy, bro. But it made sense because how are they gonna make money off of this plant that destabilizes so many industries, right? Cotton industry, the pharmaceutical industry, the tobacco industry, the alcohol industry, all of these major industries that exist in our country. This plant, that's a Schedule 1 narcotic, bruh, destabilizes them.
Do we? I don't think we have the infrastructure to use like we used to in the 30s and 40s. They used to the government would use the hemp plant for rope, for the military clothes, for for many things. I don't think we have that same infrastructure still. So the hemp plant, the marijuana plant, can't really be refined to make those other things as easily.
As it could have back then.
So I mean, they probably under the table they may have like regulations where you can't grow the plant for
those, see, and that's
certain-
and see
for
that's what I
cottons
was
and other
that's what I
shit.
was getting to.
Yeah.
They had to find a way to regulate this plant to where they, the quintessential, the question mark, the they could profit off of it. Once they were able to stabilize it enough and realize and make all the regulations correct to where they could all make money off of it, and people that look like me,
Unfortunately, I make
people
money.
that look like me get thrown in jail for it, and people that don't look like me are out here making fucking millions and billions of fucking dollars off of this fucking. They used to call me a marijuana. Oh, he's a fucking marijuana. Oh no, they had this stigma of how we were, lazy, uneducated. You feel what I'm saying? So they locked us up for it, but now they're able to profit off of it.
Yep.
So the fact that we are making strides in that direction is huge, bro. Because there's so many there's people that are still locked up for shit like this.
Well, see, and going back to that, I think they're gonna pardon a lot of people, but I think they're gonna still have to like keep shit firm. Like if you're transporting like 40 pounds, they're gonna have like a set to where it's like, oh, you had like an ounce or two. I don't know what the fuck it is.
Yeah, it's like I think you can have.
But they're
up
gonna
to
have
4.
regulation. Yeah,
You can have up to 4 plants.
so like
in
if
your
you're
home.
physically trafficking it, back in the day, trying to
Yeah.
traffic it, then they probably won't. You probably won't get a pardon.
Yeah,
or
I
a
think
full
it's
pardon or whatever.
It's
the fuck it is.
minor weed offenses.
Yeah,
but
exactly.
that opens up
getting
the
pulled
fucking-
over with a joint.
Yeah,
I think it's possession.
Man, I had a homie that got pulled over. He had like a half a joint, bro, and he got dragged through the fucking system for like 2 years.
Well,
bro.
think about it. That because it goes on his record as possession of a Schedule 1 narcotic. And we were just talking about this in the last podcast. When someone's going to hire you, they don't look at like, oh, well, I wonder what this was. They just look at it like, Schedule 1 narcotic, he must be a fucking crackhead. You know what I'm saying? They go straight to the worst case scenario.
Yeah.
So
Lumped in with all the others.
This eliminates a lot of that shit. It's gonna give people the ability to like get that off their record and get better jobs if they want to. Like this just leads to so many different things. I mean, and think about it from now I've stepped into the legal end of the cannabis industry and I'm seeing it from a different perspective, right? So think about when it goes federally legal, right? That opens up interstate and international opportunities. You feel me? That opens up working with Mexico. That opens up working with Canada. That opens up working with all these other different states because it's no longer federally illegal. Because right now you got to keep it into the confines of your recreational or medicinal state.
Yeah.
Just keep in mind when we do get these advances and we do get better at legalizing it, think of the control aspect of it when cops are what are they looking out for now that it's legal. Can you cross the line or some like, okay, probable cause, I can pull you over. So there going to be different levels of, okay, here you go, this is free, but now if we catch you doing this, this is the charge of this now.
Yeah. It'll be like DWI and stuff
I mean,
like
yeah,
that.
you
I
still,
hope.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
can't be like, obviously, yeah, they don't want you smoking and driving at the same time, but you can have it on you.
But how are you going to calculate what's under the
Yeah,
influence?
I seen some shit the other day. They're like trying to come up with these tests.
Like strips?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That can tell if like how much is pause in your saliva, but
Sheesh.
pause.
But then again, like everybody has
Yeah.
different tolerances.
Different tolerances,
yeah.
different weight,
See,
different.
and this is why it's taken so fucking long. This is why, because there's so many ways for them not to profit off of it.
Yeah.
Let's just keep it funky here.
I'd be happy with just the way Biden's doing it. You know, Schedule 1, in possession, if you have that on your record, clear it off. If you're trafficking, that's a whole different story.
Yeah.
But don't go too far.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
don't, like, okay, what do you guys want to have 7 or 8 plants in your house? No, you don't need more than 4. Or, you know, you have to have a license to, you know, produce whatever.
Yeah.
Keep it fucking simple. Like, don't try to.
And like I said, dog, like not everybody can grow fire.
Yeah.
People think that just because they get a light and they got a good fucking genetic that they're gonna fucking grow the greatest weed on the face of the earth. That just does not. It doesn't work that way. It is an art form,
oh,
bro.
yeah.
It's also an art form. I've seen people with like fucking solid genetics, and you think like you see their grow up. It's like, oh man, this is about to be fucking gas, and you pull up and it's some fucking backyardigans. You know what I mean?
Science and stuff.
Science.
Bammer.
Yeah, some Bammer weed. So like, I feel like we're definitely making strides in the right direction. I mean, think about it like this. I didn't think we'd see it wreck here in New Mexico in my lifetime.
I didn't think it was.
15 years ago, there's no way I thought I'd be sitting here having this
Well,
conversation.
who was our governor back that was trying to pass it? What was his
Richardson?
name? No, not
Gary
Richardson.
Johnson.
Johnson.
Yeah, he was an advocate.
He
for
was
it.
all
He
about
liked
it.
Yeah.
I want to smoke a joint with Gary Johnson.
That'd be dope.
Hit us up, Gary. Get on the
Gary
podcast.
Johnson, yes,
Come sit down and
yes.
respect, connect, Gary. Let's get this shit popping.
Yeah, that'd be dope.
That would be dope. That could be our Elon Musk moment. We're the first pod to get Gary Johnson fucking blazing some fucking all sick OG and some all sick ass.
Man, I was around the corner. I went to Guitar Center, bro, and I almost stopped right there at Enchanted, bro, to
pick up.
grab an all sick pre-roll, bro.
But
Man,
it
it was.
I should've.
It was a trip, dog. Like, and I said this a couple times already, bro. But I said it on the vlog that like sitting there and like autographing my own strain of weed was surreal. Like because I'm still like when they're walking out of the dispensary, I'm like, keep that down, bro. Like,
right?
Yeah.
nah, don't call me from an outside line, bro. Like that's still my mentality.
Yeah.
But being able to like actually sign the jars, not the fucking nugs, for somebody that's gonna be in the YouTube comments. He fucking signs his weed. What a fucking it. The jars, stupid ass. I'm talking to you in the comments.
Kevin.
User 6859. It's always user 68597, right? With no profile
Bro, that was
picture.
funny as fuck when you did that one video, bro.
Homie went and made a
Someone
profile.
went and made that profile that he like named off all kinds of numbers, and someone went and made a profile and then commented.
He commented, he's like, I still think you suck.
something like that. I was like, damn.
Yeah, dog. So
hilarious.
yeah, that's been a whole.
I can imagine that wow hour, a wow moment of sitting there and realization. Sometimes you're so caught up in the business aspect of it, or you know, I want to get this off the line. I want to get my all sick hoodies going. I want to get this and that. But then you forget to live in the moment and then have those wow moments. I can, kind of, like the wow moments, and like me as an actor working with a certain director that I've like never thought I'd be working with.
Yeah.
But like you sitting there rushed up. Oh, we got the opening, got this and that. You got to promote this and that, and then you're in the moment and you get that like.
Wait a minute.
Yeah, dog. Honestly, I'm trying to be better about that just in life in general, right? I feel like when my dad passed away, that like clicked in me. Like I feel like I was always kind of like that. Like I knew I had to fucking stop and smell the roses, right? Because all that we have is right now. The future, past, all that shit's bullshit doesn't exist. It's in a reality that is not real, right? So when my dad passed away, like it really cemented that fact that like you have to like even if it's the moment you're in right now is shit, you gotta fully embrace the shit, right? Because then you can fully understand and appreciate when it's not shit. And you have to be there.
Kind of like the Rust movie.
You feel what I'm saying? Yeah.
You're sitting there, you're not in the moment of what's going on. You're too worried about the in factor or what's going on. You're not worried about being in the moment.
You lose sight of where you're supposed to go because you're either focused, and I'm sure we've all seen this going online. You know what I'm saying? When they say you're depressed, you're living in the past. And when you're anxious, you're living in the future, right? There's facts. That's not just some stupid fucking meme that sounds cheesy. There's facts to it, right? Because when you're living in the past, like you're thinking, and it's what's crazy about it when you think about that is those moments don't even exist the same way as they did when you lived them. Your brain has altered them. Each time that you think about those past memories, they're altered. They're not the same, right? Little things. It's not a lot, but little things change. Same thing with the future. That shit don't exist. How many of us sit around creating scenarios that never fucking play out, bruh? How much of our lives have we spent in our fucking head creating scenarios that never happen?
Yeah. Reminds me of Bill Burr when he's like, you know what? There's a level between being crazy and psycho. Like if you drive around the street, you know, and see like 5 people on the sidewalk and be like, damn, that'd be crazy if I just took the wheel and went like this. And you think about it, there's a difference between thinking about doing that than actually fucking doing that and going out there and doing it. But
Yeah. I'd be standing in line in like Walgreens buying stationery or something, and I have like this whole visualization of zombies breaking out into the, you know, and I'm over here stabbing zombies in the head, and then and then I'll come back to it. I'm standing there with fucking paper trying to buy paper.
Cut them, Chad. Cut them.
you start stretching in line for no reason.
Sir.
Like, what the hell is Chad doing?
Calisthenics. But like our minds are so fucking powerful, dog, that it does that. Like it's on a constant fucking loop, bro. And it can be our best friend, our greatest ally, or our worst enemy.
Yeah, I think if
Absolutely.
like anything, if you know how to gauge it or use it to learn from,
Yeah.
right? So if you're like just stuck in the past, yeah, you're gonna be sad. I mean, just thinking about that, you know, in the past you'll get sad, but it's like, well, then there's also this part of that. I wasn't really that happy, you know what I'm saying, when at that time. So now where I'm at now, I'm gonna kind of catapult this way.
Because
Change that path of like where I want to be happy. You know, where I thought I was then, I'm gonna get to it now. You know,
because you learn from it.
You
You're
learn
not
from it.
living
Yeah.
there.
Oh, yeah.
Exactly.
You got to learn, not live, right? In the past, anyways, and in the future, no, that's just subjective. That shit ain't real at all.
Yeah.
At all. I mean, obviously, you need to build there. You can't just sit here and be like, I'm living in the moment, so I'm not doing anything.
Yeah.
I think people don't understand like what that means to like be present.
Live in the
now,
moment, yeah.
right?
Yeah.
It doesn't mean don't think about the past and don't think about the future.
Exactly.
Do you think that's why you
means
get deja vu?
Appreciate what's in front of you. Appreciate what you have right now.
Exactly.
This experience. Appreciate the
Yeah.
experience that you're in the moment.
Because honestly, dog, this is everything. This is all that is.
Yeah.
Man, I was just telling him. You remember that older guy, bro? He went viral on TikTok. He was singing that "Let the bodies hit the floor."
Oh yeah.
No, he went viral. He did all kinds of shit. He was like on American Idol, and then they interviewed him, right? And he's like screaming, bro, at the top of his lungs. He's like an 80-year-old dude.
Yeah.
And then they interviewed him, and he's like, and he's like, man, it's just at my age, you finally learn to like enjoy the experience. Like everything's an experience.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And so like that really clicked with me because I still am, but I'm always like to myself. Like I'm not really in front of cameras, you know, too much.
Until I said,
Other
"Hey,
than
let's
this.
fucking be on a podcast."
No,
Jay.
and then I was like, oh shit, so I bought a camera and I practiced being in front of a camera. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, like that made me click, bro. Like something clicked because it was like, you know what? He's right.
Yeah.
This dude's performing in American Idol, or whatever it was, and living life, bro, traveling, enjoying it, you know, and that stuck with me. So, you know, that made me want to branch out in other things like a fucking podcast.
Yo.
You know?
Yeah. You gotta enjoy it.
Yeah.
You do,
enjoy
dog.
the moment.
I mean, because whatever you believe in, whatever religion, whatever it is, you cannot guarantee what's after. None of us know because obviously none of us have experienced it, right? Like I've had near-death experiences, but I can't tell you right now. I can't sit here and say, Kenneth, my brother, this is exactly what happens because I have no fucking idea. The one thing that I do know for sure is that I'm here right now.
I've experienced the euphoria of it, which changed my whole aspect. I almost drowned, and I had that moment. I think I might have talked about this before, but that moment of fuck it, this is it.
You weren't scared.
So I'll
It was weird, like I was struggling, trying to get above water, this and that, and then I reach up and I'm just like, I'm just done fighting. And had that moment, and then my buddy grabbed my arm, pulled me out of the fucking water.
He's all,
And-
stand up. Just kidding, bro. Sorry.
How you gonna drown in 3 feet of water? You drunk, kid. Get the fuck out.
I was so discombobulated, I forgot I was in a kiddie
All the
pool.
water was splashing on me.
It's only 3 feet. Shit. I
Kevin
can't
Hart reference, if you know. That's Kevin Hart, all right?
Not like when I rolled my car, right? You say that your life flashes before your eyes, and it kind of does.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say it flashes before your eyes, but things slow down, right? You become like hyper aware of everything, right? And like I can still like when I go back and picture, what I hear is the sound of the semi hitting my car, and then what I feel is the actual velocity of the car rolling, dog, at 90 miles an hour. I don't picture like I don't see like my life flashing. I don't see all that. For me, when I think about that moment, it's the sheer force and sound. That's what stuck with me, right?
I bet the sounds,
Oh, forever,
'cause
dog.
that's just metal crunching.
Anytime I'm passing, anytime I get on the passing lane and next to a semi and like I look at the like tire, bro, like chills.
I can't
I
imagine
bet.
when that shit hit my windshield on the freeway.
Yeah.
It just the big thing hit my windshield, and I like started thinking because my window, I think window was down. I was like, a whole like, did you tumble?
4 times.
And just hearing that sound of that hitting the windshield, and every time I pass by a semi, I have those flashbacks or like that feeling. I'm like, oh shit.
Yeah, it just sends.
Yeah, I can't imagine.
It was 4 times, bro. We were on the way back from a show, dog. I shouldn't have been fucking driving. I was tired as fuck. We had just got off tour. It was one show that I had left right outside. It was in Cabarro, dog. And that's 45 minutes from home. We were like, everybody had a good time. Show was dope. And I was like, fuck it. I've driven home. I've made this drive 1,000 times. My cousin was with me. We're driving. And he's passed out because he was having a blast. He didn't perform, so he was drinking, dog. But he's my passenger. So we're driving. I'm sober, but I'm tired, right? We had been going at it, dog. And it was 4 a.m. I put it on cruise control. And I was going over the speed limit. Off the rip, I was trying to get home, and I put it in cruise control. And I remember getting to Route 66 Casino, and that's all I remember until I woke up.
Where did it happen?
On top of 9 Mile Hill. So you know where that RV spot is at?
Yes.
That's exactly where it happened. So I made it.
Okay, yeah.
I made it from Route 66 in the passing lane to there.
So you're 10, 15 minutes from home.
I was right there, bruh. And I remember
That's when it happens, bro.
that's exactly when it happens, bro.
when it happens.
And I had my seatbelt on, but my cousin didn't, right? So when me and the semi collided, the car jerked and like spun, right? And as it spun, it lifted. And that's when I woke up. That's when I came to completely. And luckily I remembered to put my seatbelt on. Because when we hit and then we went to roll again, I'm telling you, dog, I've never felt velocity like that in my entire life. Tried to throw me all the way out of the bro, I smashed my head up against the window and then the seatbelt locked. And it pulled me back, and then we rolled and then we landed on the tires and stuff.
Damn.
And, my cousin, I forgot that he was with me.
Who was that, Joe?
No, it was my cousin Ryan. Remember the one that helped us with the studio?
Yeah.
So I forgot he was with me. So I get out of the car. I'm just completely fucked up, bro. I'm bleeding. I'm covered in glass and fucking dirt. It was fucking crazy. So I forgot that he was with me. And then I realized, I'm like, where the fuck is Ryan? And in my mind, I'm going to see him on the fucking road. So I look in my car again, and I see his feet were on the center console, right? And I look back, and he's laying back there covered in not a bruise, not a scratch, nothing. He was passed out when we wrecked. But he's laying there, and I look back at him, and he looks me right in the face. He's all, I don't feel good. I told him, motherfucker, neither do I, bro. We rolled the car. He's like, what? We stole a car? I'm like, bro, we rolled the car, my dude.
Damn.
The whole shit was flattened completely, dog. My tires were turned in. It was like Back to the Future.
He is lucky.
Yeah, right.
He is lucky.
Yo, yeah.
Do you think nothing happened to him because
Because he was drunk.
so drunk?
Oh yeah, because he wasn't buckled, bruh.
Yeah.
He just rolled around the car, just loose, bro.
It could have been.
That's what they say.
The medics that got there, they said that they knew that they were rolling up on 2 fatalities because where we wrecked at, where the sand's at right there, that 99.9% of the people that wreck there die. And we were going above the speed limit, and it was a whole thing, dog. So, but like I look at that, and I don't tell people like, oh yeah, like I know what's happening next. Because I fucking don't, bro. The thing that I joke all the time, they ask me, what'd you learn from the wreck? I'm like, I learned like I might be Wolverine, you know what I'm saying? I might be indestructible, but what I really did learn is like that, bro.
Yeah.
You're here, you got plans, you're doing what you love, you're just trying to get home, and it's over. You don't know when that is.
And you know what, bro? I sent you a text, like either it was that night or the next day, like, hey, what's good? And then your girl text back, hey, Johnny was in an accident.
Yep.
I'll keep you posted. And I was like, what the fuck?
Yep.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, obviously you're, I'm in a position like, how can I help? What the fuck can I do? But yeah, I remember that, bro. That was scary.
Yeah, I almost had one of those moments. 16, I learned that early. Like, try to be invincible. You'll be tested.
Oh yeah, because you're not. We're not. As much as I'd like to be Wolverine, my brother, I am not fucking Wolverine, bro. So it's like at that point, that's what I learned, bro, and that's what I took away from it. Like I was doing what I loved, and I almost lost my life in the process of doing that. And one day, I say this all the time too. It's like you got to live like it's your last day because one day you're gonna be right. So you got to be here, right? So. On that fucking note, fellas.
Yeah, bro.
On that note, thank both y'all for pulling up. It was a motherfucking pleasure.
Always.
Chad, thank you. Salud, brother.
Hey, Chad, nice
Kenneth,
meeting you.
my dog, again. Bro, thank you guys for pulling the fuck up.
I'm here
Jason, I'm gonna
anytime.
fucking salute you too.
All right.
Until next time, respect the connect.
Back to connect.
Peace.